Welcome to the podcast where we're going to talk about all things wellness in a world where there's lots of different options, so many things shoved down our throat about do this, try this, experiment with this. I want you guys to know that it all comes down to making really good choices about feeding yourself and your soul and what works for you. I'm so excited you're here today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
All right, so Heather and I met at the gym right after college when I moved to Atlanta, and she was honestly my first genuine friend that I met on my own, outside of college peers that randomly moved to Atlanta as well. And we just instantly had a connection. I was in the science field, you were in the science field. We're great motivators for each other, so we love to work out with each other. You actually introduced me to my, now ex-husband, but it was still lovely. I mean, we've gone through life together since we've met, You became a wife, I became a wife, you became a mom, I became a mom, went through divorce together, and now here we are to talk about it.
I know. I was so excited to bring you on because your energy is like contagious. Anybody that ever meets you is like, oh my God, what is this girl's story? Because you're always just full of energy and you can captivate a room. But I really want to get real with what it's been like to be a single mom in your mid-30s and just going through life's changes like hormones, dating after divorce, and just what that looks like even from a wellness perspective. Because for me, what I've noticed is that wellness isn't just what we eat, what we do, how we exercise. It's our everyday life, right? It's how we interact with our kids, it's how we interact with ourselves, it's how we interact with our loved ones. And what are you doing to really focus on you? And I don't just mean take things. What do you do to focus on you so that you can feel like yourself?
It's a work in progress, let's be honest. I mean, I'm now in my later 30s, I still feel 18, but I've gone through multiple life changes and challenges. And I think looking back when I was younger, I was so focused on the physical aspect of working out, right? Let's be real. I wanted to be healthy, but it was more or less vanity.
Yeah, it's can I fit in this size? And what do I look like when I go out? And what can I eat and then still cheat and drink my way out of
Right, and so you have this going to the gym 6 days a week, so easy to go before you have children. Yeah. And then you have kids, and it's depending on your lifestyle or your situation or how you handle the hormones postpartum, it can really navigate a lot of change in your life. Yeah. And so for me, I definitely felt as you know, I had Irish twins, so 2 kids in 12 months, and I lost myself. I lost my drive, I lost my enthusiasm. I was just trying to survive for those first 1 to 2 years, and then finally coming out of the woods, my marriage was going downhill. Yeah. So I've just been the past few years trying to keep my head above water, and what I've been focusing on is just to get out, move my body in whatever capacity that is, get sun, be with people who make me laugh. I love to laugh, I love humor, I love anyone who can deal with my sarcasm, and try to enjoy life as best as possible throughout all the messy moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too that you were married actually to a trainer. Most people would be like, wow, that probably helped with losing the weight. But I will tell you, I had 2 pregnancies and they were completely different. One of them gained 50 pounds, the other I gained 25. And I had 3 years between mine, so I had time to get my body back. But that first one, it took a long time. You're such a new mom, you're obsessed with the baby, and you're like, why would I ever leave this baby? Right. I'm still feeding it, it can't hold its head up. How can I take time for myself to go to the gym? I don't know how you did it with Irish twins. Tell me what that was like navigating.
Let's be real, I wasn't going to the gym. It was pretty stressful because I was also a trainer myself, and my ex and I started a training studio. And so that's all I knew was going to the gym and being able to have that freedom to go whenever I wanted, and then not to have that or to feel very weighted down in my freedom. And that's just the honest truth. Kids really change your life dramatically. You have to figure out how to do things that work for you in whatever capacity. So stroller walks back in the day, or going to the park and doing lunges while they're on the swing set. I don't know. I'm still not fully back in my fitness routine to keep it 100% real with y'all.
But it's beyond that. It's about getting outside.
It is. It's about happiness. And what I realize now, to get back to your original question, is it's not about physicality all the time, right? Your mental health is just as important.
If not more.
Yeah, and the gym was stressing me out with my mental health after kids because I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror. you know? And so like it freaked me out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like people, I try and talk to them, I'm like, look, this isn't about getting to a size, it's not about a number on the scale, it's about like feeling yourself again. Like feeling like when you put a pair of clothes on, like you just feel good again. And I feel like so many parts of like, not just regenerative medicine, but like finding myself again in the quiet space is when I'm like learning to love myself, because that's what it comes down to. It's like loving our body for what it does. I think about the day like I meet our creator. Am I gonna be thankful for like what he gave me and the two legs I stand on and this beautiful body? Am I gonna be like, man, I feel old, like this part of my body doesn't look right, and like I wish you hadn't had like this and this happen? No. I'm gonna be grateful for what I've had. And I think it comes down to like, that's a part that I think is the biggest piece now that I'm getting older, is like loving ourselves fully.
100%. And getting into those deep, quiet, scary moments and sitting with ourselves and being okay with feeling all the different emotions. Being okay feeling angry, being okay feeling sad, being okay feeling happy and in love, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I mean, we've experienced so many of those together. I mean, I remember being there when your daughter was just born, and God, happy birthday. She just turned 7. Oh my God. And then I remember being there the day that you knew you were gonna get a divorce, and you were there for me in both those moments. You know, I've goosebumps
I know.
even talking about that, because those are highs and lows, and it doesn't mean anything was wrong. Like, we were just going with what we felt, and that's part of what being human is.
That's life. It's
life.
The journey.
It's the evolution of ourselves. Evolution is doing hard things. It's pushing our body into different ways. It's
pushing our mind
exactly
to think differently.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know how about you, but I feel like a lot of what's happening right now in the world is like the pandemic is numbness. It's about not feeling, not thinking, just like having these easy things happen for us. And that's what's making people angry, is they're not feeling things anymore
100%.
Because everything's just available now. And it's not like feeling bad or feeling good, it's just feeling. Right. You know? But tell me, like, what's it like been navigating, going through these changes? What have you noticed are some big tips that now that you're getting older and you're kind of more in your body, like what would you tell your 23-year-old self?
Just give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Give yourself grace. Give yourself flexibility for your body to change, and learn how to appreciate that. I'd always been in shape before I had 2 kids in 1 year, and then I didn't start losing the baby weight for like 5 years, really, until after they were both born. And that was hard for me. But holding in that animosity towards my body, why would I do that? Like, you, Brady, your body gave birth to 2 really beautiful and healthy children and was able to do that, you know? And that is something to embrace. And so just like learning to appreciate your authentic self unapologetically.
You started peptides, tell me, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago?
Probably 2 years ago.
And what changes did you notice? And what was like almost surprising about it? Because yes, like we started them, I think you were looking for a little bit of weight loss. You were looking
absolutely
a little bit for
energy,
that hunger control, turning off the food noise in our brain that obviously is pushed onto us because food is addiction, you know, right now, because there's so much sugar in processed foods, and like that's what we're fed all day. That's what's easy. We were able to turn that down. But what were like the changes you noticed?
Well, immediately I felt my hormonal balance come back into like homeostasis, if you will. I don't mean to be a dork, but like, you know, I was doing this fight or flight thing, and my blood sugar would spike and then it would crash, and I was doing these diets, or not even just like eating healthy, but when you're in this stage of chaos and stress, everyone's body adapts differently to it. Some people shed weight and they're real thin. My body just froze. Yeah. And so it had been very hard for me on my own to kick those hormones up and out, or get the cortisol down. So immediately I felt like the peptides absolutely helped balance me out. I felt better, lighter, and not just physically lighter, emotionally lighter, not having those ups and downs, you know, and I slept better.
Yeah.
And then once you start to feel better, you're moving more.
Yep. I always call it the momentum. Like it's literally like a triggering effect. It's almost like a catalyst that like is that just little push over the edge to kind of help you feel like more like you, which is what we want. You know, I think peptides can sometimes get a bad rap because it's like, oh, these people get extreme. No, we don't want that. A true peptide is going to work with your body's natural process, right? Clearing that brain fog, making you feel better, just making the food choices better. You know?
I mean, to be completely candid with our audience, let's be real. I have taken diet pills in the past and done all that, but it makes you feel like shit. It's not healthy. It's not good for your heart. It's not a long-term sustainable plan. So to find something like a peptide, which is protein, basically, to add to what your body already naturally has going on and enhance what needs to be enhanced, it feels so good. It just, you know, like all the vitamins in the world.
When people understand what a supplement is, I'm like, it's to supplement your life. So we really want the change to be your life, but that supplement is there to like help enhance how your life is already working. So for you, it's like turning off that food noise, helping you make better food choices. On my side, I was needing help on like, you know, cutting down Adderall. I know that Adderall made me not feel good, gave me jitters. Like, of course, I was super focused and productive, but I didn't like my personality on it.
Yeah.
I was an a-hole to my kids. I wasn't great, like, friend. Like the house could have been burning down, and I was like, I don't even know. Like, I'm working, and I knew, like, I wanted to get off that.
Right.
You know, and so for me, peptides were able to do that because it was giving me natural energy, helping me focus. Yeah, it doesn't give me the same, like, I'm not as productive on them, but, like, this is me at least. I feel like me again.
You're human.
Yeah, which is like, okay, we might cry in the shower once a week, but getting out of that. But tell me, you have a daughter.
Yeah,
and,
I have a little girl, 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old son, Cooper. Kindergarten and first grade, we're busy. It's fun. It's chaos.
Yeah.
It's insanity, actually.
It is. My daughter is obsessed with Lincoln.
I know, they're besties.
They're besties. They literally love spending time together. But I think what's cool is we are showing them what it's like to love ourselves again post-divorce. And that's a question. Like, a lot of their kids and friends at school maybe don't have moms that have gone through divorce. You know, I feel like it definitely happens a little older, even though the statistics are 50-50 or maybe even worse than that now. But, you know, a lot of kids will end up with divorced parents, but it's just at our age, I think it is a little bit more rare.
We hit the curve before the bell curve actually happened. But to make those scary choices, to put yourself first and therefore putting your children first, because if you can take care of yourself and your happiness, your children will ultimately feel that effect. It's really cool to see our daughters look up to us and they see strength in us and they don't see sorrow, which I was very fearful of when thinking about divorce.
When I think that's a big part of like regenerative medicine and not using pharmaceuticals is like, I didn't want my daughter to see me become numb. I didn't want my kids in general to see me become a shell of myself. I wanted them to see me be more me, and that's what I've loved so much. And like,
you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. I just think it's so important that we continue to show little kids in the world that like you can still function post tragedy. So tell me a little bit about dating after divorce.
What dating?
So how do you find anybody? Is it the apps? Is it, I mean, because we could go on about my love life, but we're not going to do that today. So,
by the way, folks, we forgot to tell y'all that I'm a matchmaker as well. You know, it's hard out here for him. Just kidding.
It is.
It is. I'm good on having children, so I don't want to meet someone who wants their own children, and that's kind of rare in your mid-30s. So. It kind of hikes me up above to a different age bracket, and I've realized that age bracket isn't really my style either.
What do you think about going younger?
I'm cool with whatever. I mean, there's someone for everyone, and I'll know him when I find him.
I know. So how do we meet somebody these days? Because it's not the apps.
No, it's not the apps. You go through Matchmaker.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would do. I also like meeting people in the wild.
Yeah.
But I'm good at that. I can talk to a brick wall, so. Just go to the bar, ladies. I mean, some of the best restaurants in Buckhead, just go to the bar, sit there.
Same crew.
Some cuties.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me, Heather.
We love you.
Love you.